just have to decide what kind of man you want to grow up to be, Clark. Whoever that man is, he's going to change the world.
Goodbye, my son. My hopes and dreams travel with you.
He'll be an outcast. They'll kill him.
How? He'll be a god to them. What if a child dreamed of becoming something other than what society had intended? What if a child aspired to something greater?
My son was in the bus. He saw what Clark did.
You're the answer, son. You're the answer to are we alone in the universe?
Can I just keep pretending I'm your son?
You are my son. And I have to believe that you were sent here for a reason. And even if it takes the rest of your life, you owe it to yourself to find out what that reason is.
How do you find someone who has spent a lifetime covering his tracks? For some, he was a guardian angel. For others, a ghost who never quite fit in.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun. In time, you will help them accomplish wonders.
You believe your son is safe? I will find him!
My father believed that if the world found out who I really was, they'd reject me. He was convinced that the world wasn't ready. What do you think?
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. In my world, it means hope.
Well, here it's an S. How about...
Excuse me.
Hey guys, Chris here, bringing you a proper trailer breakdown for Man of Steel. This trailer came out like a week, maybe more ago, and I made a quick video response because I didn't have the time to sit here and edit one. And I said that I really liked the trailer and everything, but there's a lot of stuff I missed. It wasn't a breakdown at all, just me talking and whatnot. So this is going to go into some of the images that we saw through the trailer and try to break it down as much as possible so we know what we're getting into in less than 2 months. Let's get it going. Let's go, because I'm feeling like I want to get away. All right, anyways, this is the synopsis, which I don't think not a lot of people know about because I didn't really know about it, and it's really interesting to see some of the stuff it says. It's a long synopsis for Man of Steel. Let's read it. In the pantheon of superheroes, and I think this is, by the way, to pause real quick, I think that's a dig at the Marvel Universe as well, because cinematically, the pantheon of universes include the Marvel Universe. Iron Man, everyone, they're superheroes. So they're like saying, in all of those superheroes, they're speaking comic book wise, pop culture wise, movie wise. They're just saying, hey, in all the pantheon of superheroes, Superman is the most recognized and revered character of all time. Clark Kent, Kal-El, Cavill, oh, that's funny how interesting that sounds, is a young 20-something journalist who feels alienated by powers beyond anyone's imagination. Transported to Earth years ago from Krypton, an advanced planet, Clark struggles with the ultimate question: why am I here? Shaped by the values of his adoptive parents, Martha Lane and Jonathan Kent Costner, I think of that song by The Lonely Island. Anyways, let's keep going. Clark soon discovers that having super abilities means making very difficult decisions. But when the world needs stability the most, it comes under attack. Will his abilities be used to maintain peace, or ultimately used to divide and conquer? Clark must become the hero known as Superman, not only to shine as the world's last beacon of hope, but to protect the ones he loves. This synopsis has more spoilers than any trailer I've ever seen because it answers a lot of questions, and I'm going to go through some of the things that the synopsis means to me, and then will inform us through the rest of the breakdown. Okay, so first of all, the first thing I notice is that it says that Clark Kent, Kal-El, is a journalist. It establishes him as a journalist in Metropolis. Now, we see him throughout the whole trailer, like hitchhiking and doing different things, and we never see him in his journalist costume or, the disguise, that the glasses, that in this technology and face recognition and all that glasses is what throws people off. It's also the character, I understand that, but whatever. So, it tells you that he's going to be a journalist and established as a journalist in this movie, which is probably why at the end, where you see him like kind of with this little infatuation with Lois Lane, they meet each other in the Daily Planet. Second thing the synopsis tells us is the subplot of this whole movie is the questioning of why I'm here. Why am I here? What is life? What is values? What is morals? And I think everyone has to deal with that eventually in some deep thought. And also another plot is being raised by two fathers. Not that he was raised by Kal-El, but his purpose and his upbringing and how they collide and what's true and what he sticks to. Alright, and the last thing I wanted to mention is that they call him Superman in the synopsis, which some people were mad about or maybe not understood. That when they like bleeped it out at the last part, that maybe they felt he wasn't gonna be called Superman, but he is gonna be called Superman. Apparently, maybe he'll be called Superman at the end when Lois Lane's doing her like wrap up monologue. Maybe he leaves somewhere and they're like, they're showing him to be a Superman, which would actually open up Gotham City to be taken over by the Joker, and Batman to conquer it, rise up, and then leave in that 8-year span because Superman flew across the galaxy to go back to Krypton. Then when he comes back, he's in the Nolan universe. Guys, I'm giving them gold. That would be awesome. Alright, so the way I'm going to do this breakdown so it saves on like render time and upload time is to just show still images. This is the first image we get of Krypton. Krypton being destroyed. Is this a war? Is it a civil war? Is it an attack? Is it an invasion? Not sure, but pretty cool stuff. We see the whole planet. It looks very mountainous, very orange, very rocky, very Mars-like, if I will, and I will. Obviously showing advanced technology, and I'm not sure how much of the movie is going to take place on Krypton as he's a baby and then as a kid. I heard that it was a 2.5-hour movie, so it seems about right. About 30 minutes dedicated to his upbringing, then another like 20 to 30 minutes as him as like a drifter before he finds a journalist job, and then the last hour and a half we get the whole Superman thing. I'm not sure, but it seems like a good portion of this film will be him not as Superman. Alright, so here we have the little capsule that he's sent off in, and you can see the S meaning hope on the back of it. Now, from what I read on ScreenRant.com, in Krypton, all the babies are genetically engineered. They're designed to be what they're going to be, how strong they are, everything. They're designed for a role on Krypton. But Superman, spoilers! If you're watching this and you don't want any spoilers, then just please stop. Superman is a natural birthed boy. What? And so it would make sense that he's like the strongest or whatever, because maybe those attributes came out which would normally be suppressed. I'm not sure. But he's naturally born, and that has to do with the hope and the crest, which is explained later. It's not an S, it's his crest. And it doesn't even look like an S. It's kind of like, it looks like a symbol. It's not like a clear, Comic Sans MS S. Alright, whatever. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty good early Easter egg. So little by little, Clark knows that he has powers. One day his bus falls off the bridge or gets in an accident, and he, I guess, lifts it onto shore, and everyone sees it, and they're like, something's wrong with this kid. So he starts feeling alienated, confused about his powers, etc. We saw that in the first film, that he's going to be a little bit of a loner. You see that throughout. So I like that direction because it shows it's a very humbling direction for, the popular kid never can learn to be, never learns to be humble, never learns what values are, or someone who has to walk that path by themselves and walk that walk by themselves, they learn a lot of values and they're humbled, and I think that's important to establish Superman in this universe. Okay, so here we have the spaceship, which looks a lot bigger than that little capsule he was sent off in. So is this the same capsule he was sent off in, or maybe another artifact? I don't know. But anyways, the Kents have this thing. At one point, they tell Clark, listen, the reason you're able to pick up a 3-ton bus is because you're not from here. You are the missing link. And I love the way Costner delivers that line, because he's like saying, dude, you're the answer to humanity, but that little crack in his voice, that little subtlety, it's like, you're my son, which he says. He goes, because he's basically telling his son, hey, you're not ours, you're like from something else, you mean something in science, this is something, you're the answer to questions. And he goes, can I just go back to pretending to be your son? And he goes, you are my son. And right there, a single tear, kid you not, comes out of my eye and drops onto the floor and sprouts a rose. That's how powerful that tear was. I think there was a little blood mixed in there. So that was a great scene, and I hope that they really bring that out, because I'm going to be bawling in this movie. I doubt anyone's going to cry in Iron Man 3 because Tony Stark says that he loves Pepper Potts. But this is going to make you, ball so hard this cray. All right, so our next scene is obviously he's grown up, he's 20-something, he's escaping Smallville, because I guess it's too small. Anyways, he's hitchhiking, cars are passing him up, he's out of there, he wants to live a life of solitude. A lot of times when you have a lot of responsibility on you as a human, as a man, sometimes you don't know what to do with it, and you just want to get away. I can relate sometimes, just wanting to get in my car and drive somewhere. And so he's escaping. Has he not learned that he can fly yet? Maybe that's a power he discovers later when he reads his manual on who he is, so he wouldn't have to be hitchhiking. Or maybe he's trying to reject his powers altogether and just be human. So here's Superman, who has discovered, I believe, a spaceship. Now, what people think and what I think is that a spaceship has crash landed in the Antarctic and it's kind of covered in snow, and that's the Fortress of Solitude. It's not really like something that emerged out of a single crystal. It's actually explained, which I think would be cool. Very cool that he somehow discovered it. How he discovers it, I'm not sure. Maybe Zod's already come. I don't know. Who knows? He obviously probably flew there. When does he learn to fly? A lot of questions. This is what I like about this trailer more than the first or the second one, is that there's so many questions brought up that I like not knowing what to expect from the movie. And since you can pretty much read Iron Man 3's whole plot on Wikipedia right now, which I haven't done, don't spoil it for me. There's a lot not known about this movie that I'm really excited for. It's a contrast. It's like, man, I'm looking forward to this because of what they're not telling me and what this could imply to the DC Cinematic Universe. I'll talk about that later. Here's just another shot of, I guess, this ship crashed in this area. I don't know, but it looks really tight. All right, so here we have Clark as a fisherman. I don't know if this... I think it looks like he goes to Alaska, doesn't it? Because I'm thinking of, what's that show, Deadliest Catch, how it takes place up there in that sea. And when it's snowing, when he's hitchhiking, somehow he goes from Smallville to Alaska. I think, obviously, it may not be Alaska. Maybe he's in the eastern side where Quebec or Montreal or wherever. I don't know the geography there. Squeeze me. But anyways, he's living a life of solitude, thinking. He just wants to fish. I guess the prospect of him being an alien and this and that has really gotten to him. He doesn't know how to handle that, internalize that, process that, which is good. It shows his character. It's not like, I'm an alien? Boom! Let me destroy the earth or rob a bank or something. So, yeah. Now, something happens. Maybe this is at an oil rig. Maybe this is at the ship itself, where I believe that he shows his powers and people see it and they're like, damn it, he's a freak. And then he has to leave again, Maybe this is what makes him have to leave the fisherman thing and go into Metropolis, which is actually the opposite, because he went from going to the middle of nowhere to actually going to the most populated city in the universe, which is Metropolis. So interesting how that works out. All right, so the next shot is this giant fish, tentacle, water-like creature. Is this in the water? Is this space? Is this a creature? I don't know. This is introducing us to a lot of the creatures in the Superman universe. It has tentacles. It's trying to get him. Now, what I can't tell is if he's flying towards this and they reversed it in the trailer, or he's flying away. I can't really make out his face there if he's flying away from it, or if he just one-shots this thing. Who knows? Here we have him flying towards a beam of light. Not sure what that beam is. A lot of stuff, again, a lot of questions, and I'm happy about it. Is this a sun, a dying star? Is he leaving Earth? Is he going to a ship? I have no idea. It looks like it's in outer space, so take that for what it's worth. So at this point, he's found his suit. The military knows about him. Maybe he saved the plane or something happened. I don't know why the military, this is still one of the bigger questions I have, is why the military would like to attack him. Maybe the ship from Zod has come in and they're nervous and they ask Superman to come in because he's already known. I have no idea where they're going with this, what timetable this takes place. It seems mid-Act 2, could be Act 3. Doubt it's Act 1. There's a lot of info for Act 1. So it seems mid-Act 2 leading up to the final act where he's arrested, maybe breaks out and beats Zod. Who knows? Very cool shot of Metropolis here, which is what I want to focus on. It obviously looks a lot like New York, very present day-ish. What I'm noticing is that it's not so futuristic. Like every incarnation of Gotham City seems like it was in the 1920s or 40s, all old and decrepit and dark. And Metropolis always looks futuristic, almost like 100 years in the future. Just the artwork. And this, again, maybe the Nolan influence. It looks very present day, modern, sunny, nothing futuristic. There's no flying hover cars or monorail tracks all over the place. It's just present day New York, aka Metropolis, which I believe it's based off of, or Chicago. I don't know what city it's based off of. I don't see any ocean or water, so who knows. But yeah, and there you have Zod in his ship, and he's obviously come to town. Now, what I don't get is why there's not 500 news helicopters floating around him. So maybe he just came in quick. Who knows? Not much to say here besides this guy looks freaking insane. I'm noticing he has a different crest on his chest. I wonder what that means. I like the texture of it. It looks very Spider-Man-ish, very tight to the skin. So, yeah. Hey, Zod. How the hell are you? Obviously, you're a little mad. You mad, bruh? Alright, nothing going on here besides is this the LexCorp Tower in a Man of Steel movie? Are they finally branching out the universe and establishing the corporation that Lex Luthor owns? Oh my god. This has so many implications, and I'll tell you the first one. The first one is that there's a possibility of Lex Luthor introduced in the movie. This could be an Easter egg, could be just a building in the background, but normally if they're going to show this in the teaser, and they know that people are going to rewind and look at this, they're obviously going to show Lex Luthor. Is he in a board meeting? Does it show him that he's crazy? Does he go into the Daily Planet? Who knows what the extent of his cameo will be, but we'll know we'll get something in his universe, and that means that they are mapping out a small Man of Steel world. Believe it or not, they're not just going one villain, one story, one meaning, that's it. They're leaving open ends here and there, which I love. Does LexCorp interact with Bruce Wayne somehow and his company, and do they get together and introduce the Gotham, and who knows? But I guarantee you, if they mention anything else, it's gonna be crazy, because like in Batman and Robin, the guy goes, this is why, George Clooney goes, this is why Superman works alone, and everyone's like, But if they do that here, everyone's gonna be like, if they're like, oh, this is why Batman works alone, then guess what? Boom. DC Cinematic Universe. This movie is going to be the make or break for the DCU, for the Justice League, for everything. If this movie makes $500 million, and everyone's like, $500 million, that's nothing. Trust me, $500 to $600 million is a solid number for them to know that people like the tone of the movie in a rebooted movie, in an age where all these superhero movies are coming out. People like the tone of it, people like the actor, people like the direction, and that will, I guarantee you, if this makes $500 to $600 million, they will guarantee us Justice League in 2015, 2016. They'll start putting things in production. They respond to money. Batman's already made $1 billion. Man of Steel, if it makes $600, $700 million, $500 million, any type of good number where they make their money back and then a lot more, trust me, we're getting a DCCU. DCCU, yeah. Now, quick cue, is this Zod's armor? I looked on the internet and I couldn't see that Zod had armor, but I saw a bunch of his toys were released where he had armor. So is this Zod, or is this Lex Luthor in his green suit? I'm not sure. I don't want to sit here and call Lex Luthor and look like an idiot, because it could be Zod, and I just don't know if he has his own battle suit. But this is probably Zod. I'm 90% sure it's Zod, but right after the Lex Luthor little tease, it just got me really excited. Now, if this is Henry Cavill's character, or his, I don't even know if this is Henry Cavill, however you call it. But if this is, and it says Kansas, or maybe this is a flashback, I have no idea where this is. But if this is his disguise, it works. I mean, this works better than the swirly hair, which he seems to have a little bit of, and the glasses. I mean, I can't even tell if this is the same dude. But yeah, anyways. And here we have what looks like Zod's ship surrounded by an asteroid belt or something. Maybe this is what Superman was flying to. Maybe he was in the center of this beam and he was flying up towards it to boom, one-shot it. There's a jet. There's smoke. If you notice right under the jet, there's smoke. So obviously something happened there. Maybe attacked something. And there's a jet, maybe military, coming towards it. So this is it. This is the invasion. Things are going down. Metropolis gets messed up. To what extent, I don't know. But I'm looking at it. This looks like a huge city. I mean, skyscrapers for miles. I don't know. All right, and here we have this little sweet exchange, which I just like because it shows that Superman's a nice guy. And, you know, she's asking him about who are you? Why is the S on your chest? He's obviously cooperating because he could just bust out of there at any minute, snap her neck in two. He's not. I don't think he's handcuffed. Maybe he is, but whatever. I really like this exchange. Something we don't see a lot in superhero movies nowadays is that this beast is like, if you'll see the expression on his face, it's just very sweet. Two tears came out of my eyes, and they fell onto the ground as well. And to commemorate that, I got tear tattoos, put them on my face. I've also killed 2 people, so that's what that represents. But anyways, I really like it. Really like the little subtlety. He probably knows her already from work, but she doesn't know it's him. I don't know how he does that. Maybe she does know it's him. You saw her a little bit earlier, like exploring the Fortress of Solitude with the flashlight. I didn't pause there, but whatever. So I really like it. Not much more to say besides cool. And finally, we're wrapping up here with him punching Zod all across the world. All around the world. People want to be loved. Is Justin Bieber not the best singer we've ever heard? I mean, honestly. Anyways, I'm wrapping up here. Again, this movie looks great. Sorry for the late trailer breakdown. I'm really looking forward to this movie. The Thor trailer did really good for me, and it put it on the map. But this is still my second most anticipated movie besides Iron Man 3. So it goes Iron Man 3, Superman, Man of Steel, Thor, and then Wolverine. Not much more I can say about this movie. I hope it delivers. I hope it gets money and we see a DC Cinematic Universe. I'm releasing a podcast within the next couple days, and I'll talk about all of this and you'll see it. But basically, in that, I basically say that I think the payoff for a DC Cinematic Universe is a lot greater than a Marvel Cinematic Universe. And you're like, what are you talking about? Are you a little high or whatever? But the only character in the Avengers that we could really gravitate to and really relate to, the most complex character that had the best story arc that we feel, great actor, was Iron Man Robert Downey Jr. Now hear me out. We see him transform completely in Iron Man. We get the justification why he makes the suit, why it works, technologically based, fit into the universe. We relate to him throughout Iron Man 2. We see him go through problems with Pepper Potts. We see their relationship evolve with him and Rhodey and with him and Pepper Potts. I mean, the thing is laid out thick. And we go on that journey with them. When the Avengers come down, there's 2 people. You know that little circle shot where the Hulk's like roaring and Hawkeye's somehow there for some reason, probably out of his mind because no one in their right mind would be in the middle of that. And Black Widow, and they're all flipping their stuff. There's 2 characters that honestly made me cry. I'm not even kidding. I almost cried there. My eyes teared up. By the way, Google search or YouTube search Avengers TV spot together. I cry every time I see that TV spot. Anyways, it's Captain America. His face really sells it like, holy crap, I am a man out of time. And I think his character arc is the second best developed. And Iron Man, when he's looking around, and you just know that Tony Stark's in that. That this guy who was in a cave, who almost died, who's learned his lesson, who's humbled a little bit, even though Iron Man 2 reverted on that you really relate to that. Hulk, Yeah, you want to see him kick ass. Cool. Thor, yeah, he's there. He's ready to go. You know it. Black Widow, Hawkeye, nice. Pretty cool. You're excited. But there's only one character. Captain America, I thought too, but most people will agree there's only one character that sells you on, wow, this is going on. When he takes up that nuke, you're like, TS, Tony Stark, no. So, Man of Steel looks like, and the Batman trilogy, I hope they incorporate that, man. You gotta look past the little flaws and the little issues that it would be in incorporating that. You gotta realize that Christian Bale's Batman, man. He's the one that fought the Joker, and he's lost everything, and he's now found happiness with Catwoman, man. And then you get Cavill in there. The payoff's a lot better character-wise, man, because when you see this movie that's gonna make you tear up, and then you see him and Bale together, just those two characters, you're gonna be like, it's on, man. And then all they gotta do, listen to me, DC, listen to me, damn it. For once in your stubborn life, listen to someone. You incorporate the Gotham Nolan universe, you incorporate this Man of Steel universe. All you gotta do is release one other movie, so it's just not Batman and Superman. That won't cut it nowadays. That would have cut it in 2010 before the Avengers. It doesn't cut it now. You need to have at least a third member established in a movie. Most people go Wonder Woman, diversity, woman, Amazon, introduce her, trifecta, the top three. Very known, very reasonable, very logical. Wouldn't be mad if you did. You don't do that. You go Flash. What? Those three characters, Batman not really. Superman and Flash are the hardest to explain because they're the most OP. Green Lantern, yeah, he can conjure up anything in his imagination, but you can explain that it's his own limitations and his own imagination and his own will inhibit his creations of things, and you can set him with a weakness. You can tone him down a little like they toned down Thor, so he's not so overpowered. Flash, you gotta make that movie, man. You gotta make it work. You gotta make it a little quirky. You gotta have that same tone, action, kind of sad, but you get him in there, man, and you make a movie like that. All you gotta do is you gotta cling on to Henry Cavill as Man of Steel, as Clark Kent. You cling on to Bale. You cling on to Flash. 2016, that movie will make billions. You introduce like Green Lantern. I don't know if you should do another movie like that. Maybe you look. This is what you do. I got it. Damn it! It's hitting me. You make Flash and like either Green Lantern or Wonder Woman in 2015 and 2016. Boom. Wow, it's a 27-minute breakdown. I did not think it would go that long. I talk a lot. Jesus. If anyone's still here, danke for watching. That's thank you in French. I would like to thank you for watching, and yeah, let me know how looking forward to this movie you are. That was very bad English. I'm gonna get off because I don't know how to close. See ya.